Okay, I'm back. Like I mentioned in the oil part one lecture, that once the oil is extracted, whether it's crude, tar sand, or oil shale, we just can't take that oil and just throw it in the gas tank of our car or cook with it. It needs to be refined. And it's pretty simple. It's like distilled in a way. I mean, this is a big word right here to know. It's distilled with heat. It's separated. And basically, depending on the product that you want out of this, that really correlates with the length of time that it spends in the refinery. I mean, imagine this refinery is like this big, huge silo looking thing. And inside the silo, you have these hot coils just kind of like wrapped around in the inside. And you you insert the crude oil into the silo. And as this crude oil comes in contact with the heated coils, the heat breaks down the hydrocarbons and reduces its viscosity. Well, if you want really gooey stuff like asphalt and grease and wax, then it spends very little time in the refinery because you don't want it to be as refined. You don't want it to be exposed to that much heat. So you shove the oil in and it kind of, like I mentioned, it comes in contact with the heated coils. And oh, no, we want asphalt. All right, get it out of there right away because we still want it gooey. But if you look at this diagram as the time that's spent in the refinery, you get cleaner and cleaner, more efficient fuel instead of gooey liquid stuff. Like as it spends longer in the refinery exposed to more heat, now you're into the gasoline and then the gases like the propane that we buy for our grills. So our propane is actually refined oil, and that is spent a lot of time in the refinery. I mean, I've been telling you about how coal and oil form. Why is coal solid? Why is oil a liquid? And all has to do with the heat being applied and the bonds that need to be broken. So, I mean, it's no different from the compared to the refinery process. It needs to be exposed to lots of heat if you want to get very refined products like gases. Not a lot of heat if you want gooey stuff like asphalt. So once it's refined, then you can ship it and use it. Or oil can be used to generate electricity just like coal. I know this says coal here, but it also says or gas or oil, and the same thing applies here. In fact, this is the same exact image that appeared in the previous lecture. You burn oil to heat up water to turn to steam, and the steam spins a turbine, and the turbine spins a generator, and the generator forms electricity or creates an electron flow that is then harnessed and sent to your house. Before I explained it with coal. Now we're doing the same thing with oil. Eventually, I'm going to tell you the same thing with natural gas. In fact, most coal burning power plants, no, I don't want to say most, but a lot of coal burning power plants in the state of Pennsylvania and Ohio are converting to natural gas burning power plants. Why? Think about it. Coal is a solid. It takes a lot of energy to break to get energy out. That equals money to these people. Natural gas is a gas. And since the carbon chain is smaller, it takes less energy out to get energy. I'm sorry, it takes less energy to be put into the system to get more efficient energy out, which equals more money. And if you're looking at it from an environmental standpoint, natural gas is so much cleaner. Again, I think you should already know the reason, because the carbon chain is small. And if the carbon chain is small, it contains less impurities. So when you combust it, that means it has less pollution when burned. And there we have it. That was a pretty quick, simple lecture. Okay, everybody, have a great night or day or morning or whatever you're watching this video. Adios.